And we will be talking Eagles football all day today. But we need to take just a quick timeout because Saturday was one of the more insane days, maybe of my life, but I'll say in recent memory, of everything that transpired. And, John, I tweeted out about it. Saturday was my fun day in the city, the Lithuanian festival.
By the way, that looked fun.
I had a blast. And then Saturday night, I was out.
You were out in the city.
I met Connor's German family. It was great.
They were very happy to meet you.
Yes, and they sounded just like that.
They did. And that was the lady.
And then Sunday morning, I checked my phone, and it's Jason Kelce. It's Joel Embiid. Not that I really care about Penn State. James Franklin's getting into it with fans because he lost again.
James Franklin's ringing the victory bell after a loss.
A loss.
I guess close losses to Ohio State now mean you ring the victory bell.
So, first, let's start with Jason Kelce. It sucks that in this day and age, in this world, right, Jason Kelce wants to be out as public as possible, and I love that. I think that's really cool. He also can't be as public as possible because you got ass faces.
Yes.
Typical Penn State people. I'm kidding. Not everybody.
Taunting him.
This guy, meanwhile, saying horrible things, homophobic slurs about Jason Kelce's brother Travis.
And you know that the little ass face, good word?
Yes, ass face. Because I can't say ass H.
Would never say that if Travis Kelce's standing in front of him.
No, so he says
much like people behind keyboards.
Yeah, so he says it to Jason. And look, good for Jason Kelce. Smashing the hell out of that phone.
Wait a minute now. That's where one of those things where we both say the same thing, but that's irresponsible enough.
I got it.
We both say the same thing. Good for Jason Kelce, but we shouldn't. We shouldn't say that. He's got to learn to walk away from that.
Okay, well, let's say his name is Kaysen Jelsey.
No, but the thing is, though, he'd be arrested for that. He'd be arrested for doing that. Do you want that?
I don't think he's.
Does ESPN want? No.
I don't think he'd be arrested for breaking a phone.
No, yes, he would be.
If you can't throw one of the Mets fans' phones onto the field that says his back, he didn't get arrested.
Yeah.
He would absolutely, with video of that incident, be able to be arrested. He would absolutely be able to be arrested.
Let's just say he'd be in trouble.
You'd be in trouble, yeah.
No, you'd get arrested for it. You'd get a court date. You'd get a court date. You absolutely cannot do that to somebody. Go try it today.
I'm not saying
film
you can. I'm just not saying arrest.
Give me your phone.
No, you can't.
I slammed it.
You cannot do this. So the thing is,
yes,
I get you. I felt very good for you, Jason.
Yeah, same.
But that's irresponsible that you can't do that. You can't give the troll
the satisfaction
of getting to you like that.
Yeah, he just needs more security around him at all times.
And that's the horrible nature that he wants to be public, which I love. But he also can't be public, and he's got to realize that. And it sucks. It's not like you, me, and Connor. It's not like an everyday bloke. Like this is Jason Kelce. He's bigger than life now.
He's become the two of them are, and I actually think right now Jason's profile is bigger. Seems bigger.
Yeah.
Because Travis is just not. Travis has got his head down doing football.
And this isn't the first time where something has happened with them being just so public. Remember what happened at Margate earlier this year? The woman was totally in the wrong.
Totally in the wrong. Jason Kelce did nothing wrong the other day.
No.
Except you cannot grab somebody's phone and smash it like that. Because you're going to end up the one in trouble. The troll gets away with it.
Right. And
even though we all would wish that and there was a time. There was a time pre-phones when that would have just resulted in a
fist to the face.
An ass kicking, and everybody would applaud it.
And so I wake up Sunday morning and I see that, and I tell my wife about it. And she goes, "Oh, I thought you were going to tell me about Embiid." And I will.
And then you're like,
I go, what?
Well, where were you Saturday night?
No, the games were on.
No, I got you. I mean, but you didn't see any of that?
No, I didn't either.
Dude, I went to bed at midnight. I wasn't checking my phone with my boys. We were hanging out.
Once again, it's one of those things where I had the exact same reaction to the Jason Kelce story that I had to the Joel Embiid story.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
In case people don't know,
right.
Marcus Hayes wrote an article about Joel Embiid.
That was completely out of line.
No reason.
Not the whole article.
No.
Just reference invoking his dead brother.
He basically
and his son.
made it seem like Joel Embiid is not honoring his dead brother and his son, who he claims to honor his career after. And Marcus Hayes saying that was totally uncalled for.
Marcus Hayes knows nothing of his brother, knows nothing of his child.
He doesn't know anything of Joel Embiid.
And then to then insinuate your dead brother would be embarrassed by your behavior.
Yeah,
your
that's
dead
what it
brother
was.
would find you like not inspiring. Kiss my backside.
Yeah.
And again, it's the same reaction I had. Like he's people are talking about you're assaulting Marcus Hayes.
Yeah.
If he assaulted Marcus Hayes, there would be a chalk body outline on the floor. So clutch your pearls elsewhere. But again, Joel can't do that.
No, he can't.
He can't do that. You can't do it. You cannot give the trolls the satisfaction. You cannot give it to them. You got to ignore people like this because there's mental illness involved.
But here's the problem.
There's mental illness.
At some point, it's going to happen. Embiid probably isn't the worst story there's probably stories that have not gotten out. Like, you know how locker rooms can be.
Well, no. Yeah. I got to tell you, early in my career, when I used to be in the baseball locker rooms all the time, having to collect sound and everything, I got to tell you, I saw, and Kevin Cooney and I talked about this yesterday, I saw 3 or 4 incidents in my career where players bowed up on members of the press.
Yeah.
And I promise you, the members of the press they were bowing up on had nothing, those people were not invoking dead relatives and stuff like that, which is completely out of bounds. All they were doing was being critical of the player.
Right. So, like, I'm not saying, like, good for you, Joe, but at the same time,
no, I
good for you, Joe.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I'll be honest. Like, once you go out of line, look, if he wasn't in the locker room, let's say that they met up.
By the way,
bar.
I admire Marcus for being there.
I understand
for making himself there and seeing him.
He didn't
and he also did offer an apology.
Yeah, but
in the beginning,
but you should still be ashamed
that's a
for the
weak
way
ass
you wrote
apology.
it.
That apology wouldn't mean anything to me.
That apology meant nothing.
It would go in one ear, out the other.
You wrote a horrible thing, and because of the backlash you got, then you decide to apologize.
And that is your track record. That is your reputation. And that's something you seem to get off on.
Yeah. It won't be the last time, by the way.
Oh, no.
Letting you know now.
Sometime might be worse.
All right.
It's probably on Kincade and Salciunas next week.
So we'll get back to the Eagles. We had to talk about the wild Saturday into Sunday that was the life of Philadelphia sports. But coming up next, we hear from you. Eagles win. Nick Sirianni, the story. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.